Leaders need to be infinitely thoughtful and considerate. Earlier in this letter, referring to the principle of the Buddha nature manifesting itself from within and bringing forth protection from without, the Daishonin expresses great joy that Shijo Kingo own strong faith above all had produced a major breakthrough towards a positive resolution. Having a proactive and forward looking attitude is key to ensuring a successful outcome. Carelessness is the greatest enemy. Here, from this passage on, the Darshanan proceeds to give Kingo detailed advice and word of caution. Leaders in faith need to be extremely thoughtful and considerate. Leaders who strut around self to minor details are totally lacking in compassion and concern for others. In another letter to Shito Kingo, the Daishonin says, an enemy will try to make you forget the danger so that he can attack. When we are lulled into complacency and let our guard down, devilish functions will take advantage. That is why a word of warning or reminder to be careful can give someone the wisdom to defeat devilish functions. It can also prevent accidents from happening. To remain silent is irresponsible. For instance, brief reminders to people at the end of a meeting that they be careful going down the stairs or that they drive home safely are examples of our voice doing the compassionate work of the Buddha. This is one instance of humanistic behavior embodying the principles of Nichiren Daishonin's Buddhism. In saying, quote, as things stand out, unquote. The Darshanin turns the focus to Kingo's course of action going forward. First of all, he expresses concern that Kingo's life is still in grave danger. Naturally, Kingo himself would have been aware that certain parties were actively seeking to eliminate him, but in his heart, he may well have thought, quote, I'll be fine because I'm practicing Buddhism. Unquote. Here, the Darshan's intent most likely was to sound a warning to sweep away any such complacency. Next, the Darshanin cites two examples, one from a popular board game of the day and another about a card. Quote, in backgammon, if two stones of the same color are placed side by side, they cannot be hit by an opposing stone. A cart, as long as it has two wheels, does not lurch all over the road. Unquote. He wishes to impress on Kingo the importance of making friends and allies in order to successfully weather the present crisis. Specifically, the Darshanin instructs him to cultivate cordial relations with his younger brother, even if they have made mistakes in the past and have various shortcomings. He further points out that if Kingo is always accompanied by his brothers, his enemies will refrain from attacking him. The reason for the Daishonin's strong insistence that Kingo under no circumstances travel alone that was that the situation still remains so tense that he might be ambushed at any moment. The Daishonin is deliberately strict in his guidance here because Kingo has just overcome one difficult hurdle by obtaining an opportunity to regain his lord's trust, putting him thus at a most crucial juncture. When I read this passage, I am deeply struck by the immense compassion of the Daishonin, who is concerned above all for the safety and well being of his followers. Next topic is faith is a struggle with our own inner darkness or ignorance. Quote, your face bears definite signs of a hot temper. Unquote. The Daishonin says, there's no way of knowing whether Kingo had the look of a short tempered person all the time or whether the tribulations he was facing simply caused him to have rather grim and tense expression during this period. In any case, the Daishonin's description probably captures a key aspect of Kingo's personality. Kingo tended to be extremely single minded and acted with a zealous sense of right and wrong. But this could sometimes work to his disadvantage. Therefore, the Daishonin tells him bluntly, quote, the Buddhist God will not protect someone who is short tempered. Unquote. Of course, when it comes to attaining Buddhahood, there is certainly no discrimination based on personality. Anyone's personality can be made to shine brightly when illuminated by the mystique law. And it is fully utilizing each person's unique personality that our movement for Kusunrufu will be able to achieve perfect and harmonious development. We can surmise, however, that the Daishonin purposely adopts a stern tone here in order to dispel Kingo's innate ignorance or darkness. Ignorance gives rise to dark impulses and fuels negative tendencies. Everyone has their own areas they need to challenge in terms of their human revolution. The important thing is that we confront the one overarching shortcoming in our own life and strive to achieve positive development and growth. It is through continually challenging ourselves and ceaselessly striving to move forward that we can grow in faith and expand our life state. Sometimes Buddhist teachers may give their disciples strict guidance out of their desire for them to realize their tremendous potential. This is because genuine mentors cherish and care for their disciples. Often, their strictness is aimed at breaking through the negative tendencies or devilish functions at work in a disciple's life. In the case of Shijo Kingo, there was a very real danger that his hot temper might get the better of him and exacerbate the situation. Carried away by their own views of what is right and wrong, often people forget to be circumspect or consider others' feelings, causing friction and resentment. The Daishonin worried that if this happened with Kingo, it would create an opening for devilish forces to take advantage. Hence, the reason for his unvarnished words. The Daishonin further points out that if Kingo were to antagonize others and lose his life as a result, his enemies would rejoice, while his fellow practitioners of the mystique law would be filled with sorrow. Here, the Daishonin teaches Kingo that his victory does not stop with him alone, but is deeply connected to the victory of the entire community of the Daishonen's followers. Consequently, he advises him to exercise the utmost care and take precautions for his own safety. To be continued in the next video.